Good morning students, hope you are all doing well with your health and studies. I am your English teacher Ms. Dolly, and today in this video I am going to explain the third chapter from your book New Radiant Reader, and the name of the lesson is Letters from Assam. This is the first part. We will read the next part in the next video. So before I start my explanation, I will request you all to open your textbook and take the lesson. It is in the 7th page. And also hold a pencil in your hand, because while explaining I may ask you to write certain word meaning in the book, so you may write there for your future reference. So let's start. Assam. The name Assam is derived from the word asma, which means peerless. Assam is situated in the northeast of India. It has also called the tea garden of the world. Assam is famous for, again, many things like one-horned rhino, muga silk, and many more. As we are going to read about the tea state or tea garden, let me give you some information about it. Do you know, students, Monabari tea state, which is in Vishwanath district of Assam, is Asia's largest tea state. Now, what is the meaning of state? Let me tell you. State meaning is property or an extensive area of land. You may note down in your book. And also, let me tell you, students, in 1826, the British East India Company took over the region from the Ahom kings. And in 1837, the first English tea garden was established at Tambua in Upper Assam, and in 1840, the Assam Tea Company began the commercial production of tea in the region. So, coming back to the lesson now, the writer of this lesson have wrote two letters, part 1, which we are going to read now, and part 2, which we will read in the next video, where he have mentioned about the growing and making of tea, which he actually wants his nephew John to know, as he was very eager to know about it. Students, do you know that the tea grow on bushes? There are thousands and thousands of tea bushes. They are planted close to each other in long lines, and they look like shrubs. They have cut flat across the top about 3 feet from the ground. So Uncle Bob says here, the tea or the leaf, as we call it here, looks very like the young shoots on any bush that you can see in our homes, and only the youngest and the most tender leaves are plucked, and the younger the leaves, the finer the tea will be. So such type of leaves are being plucked 2 to 3 times a day, and all the leaves are then collected, then taken to the factory with the help of the bullock carts to make the final tea. Uncle Bob said that all the plants of the tea are very carefully raised from seeds. It is very interesting to know that even though they take care of the tea plantation, they are doing cuttings, isn't it, to make them leveled. But even though in some of the parts of Assam we can see wild tea, which looks just like a tree, which grows quite tall and have larger and coarser leaves than those we find in the tea states. Uncle Bob also said that early in the morning, the company of the Indian women and children carry basket, go off to the garden to pluck leaves. They are very cheerful, light-hearted crowd. Crowd means group of peoples, chattering, talking, singing as they work. They wear colorful dresses like bright colors. They prefer wearing. Uncle Bob also said that the women's and children are engaged in plucking. In the same time, the men in the state do other works. As you can see, they don't pluck. Their task is to keep the long lines of the bushes free from weeds. What is weeds? Weeds are unwanted plants which you can normally see grow very quickly at our homes, isn't it? Uncle Bob also mentioned that the growth of the tea leaf, stops about Christmas time, and then they have a period of 3 months absolutely no work. So they utilize that time by doing various jobs, like the bushes have to be cut regularly to keep them leveled so that they may be within the reach of the pluckers. And also they plant new young tea plants, and also the workers use the time for repairing their house, which is made of bamboo mud walls, which take no time to build. Now John also asked Uncle Bob that what work he used to do. To this, Uncle Bob replied that he have to go round every day to see that the work which is being done by the workers partially on my pony or partially on foot. Uncle Bob also says that he is also called upon to settle some disputes or to decide questions among the laborers. Still, he finds time to play golf, polo and tennis. So he promised John that he will write again to him very soon. By saying this, Uncle Bob concluded his letter. So that's all the explanation about this lesson, Letters from Assam. I hope you have understood, and your homework for today to learn all the question answer of this lesson. That's all, students. Thanks for watching.